Cash and bank management. So cash and bank management is a module where you can maintain your bank accounts, track your bank transactions or the transactions that are posted to bank, maybe deposits, payments or receipts or check issuals or deposit slips, anything that you can create and follow up in the cash and bank management module. The most important one is BRS, bank reconciliation statements or bank reconciliation, which is most common in any business to reconcile the transaction that you post in your books related to banks to the bank original bank statement. So you do such reconciliations to understand any mismatches and to again correct them if you want to. So that bank reconciliation process is also prominent in cash and bank management. So mostly we'll have all the bank details created, one bank or two banks if the company is having, or if the company is having many banks, you can create all the bank accounts as the list of bank accounts. And there are different controls for the bank accounts. Then for tracking each transaction, what kind of a transaction it is, we can create transaction types. So that we will discuss now, transaction types. So all this is covered in the cash and bank management module. It's a small module actually to say, but there are certain important topics in cash and bank management model which are important for interview as well as for the job work process. So we will cover up all those topics actually. So the first topic in the cash and bank management is bank transaction types. So what are bank transaction types? What kind of transactions we normally have with banks? Anyone have any idea? Payments, okay. Deposits, yes. Say it in the terms of business, not in the individual banking perspective, but in the business perspective, what kind of transactions you might have. Check payments as well as check receipts, both of them. Yes, and see, we have interest related transactions where you pay the interest or receive the interest, or you have a EMI transactions, which is also a payment, but you might tag it as EMI. You might have UPI transactions, which you receive money through UPI. You might have any wire transfers, electronic transfers, but you might have cash transactions normally. So that's not related to bank, or you can receive cash normally. So anything. So that transaction types we normally create in cash and bank management module so that every transaction that you do using a bank account, you will tag one of the transaction type to make it a unique transaction, or so let's to add a purpose or what kind of transaction it is. To add that kind of code to the transaction, you will create this bank transaction types in Dynamics. So these are also helpful during the reconciliation process to match the reconciliations to match the transactions from bank statement to the, I mean, cash and bank management transactions. So this is very important. Bank transaction types are helpful in recording the transactions as well as during the reconciliation. Okay. So to create bank transaction types, you can go to cash and bank management. It's here in the alphabetical order here, cash and bank management. So under setup, I can see bank transaction types here. Cash and bank management setup, bank transaction types here. Click on bank transaction types. Here I have an empty form where I can create this. So 01, I can create deposits. 02, I can create withdrawals. 03, I can create check payments or whatever the payment that you do with checks. 04, I'll call it as check receipts, the money that you are receiving through checks from customers. 05 electronic payments, electronic receipts, UPI payments, UPI receipts. You can say another one as EMI. You can say 10 as credit card, CC. You can create one more as PDC, post dated checks. Just refresh it so that they will be in an order now. You can see from 1 to 11. Then you can create one more as 12. Interest received from the bank, or you can create 13 as interest deducted. You can say on your overdraft balance. You can say transaction number 14, like bank charges. So you can create in this way. This is a charge related transaction. So for all the transaction types, actually I have a main account which I can give here. So this will be helpful in the reconciliation process where you might have to create a new transaction which to balance the reconciliation. Then you can use this particular account from here. So if you don't give also, you can manually take one from there. But you give here, it will automatically consider that account only. Suppose for bank charges, let's assume that during reconciliation process, if there is any new bank charges that I have identified in the bank statement, which I did not record in my books. So I might have to create that transaction. So to create the transaction immediately and to use the bank charges account, so I can give a bank charges account here in this place. For interest accounts, I can give here interest received or deducted accounts also I can give, because all the transactions that I do here are normally through, I will make payments by myself. So I'll record in my books, or when I receive payments from customers, then also I'll have an acknowledgement so that I'll record in my books. So those will be always recorded. But coming to interest related transactions, interest received, deducted, or bank charges, you don't have an idea normally. So bank will charge something which you will get a message, but that message is not always with you or not with the accountant to record the transaction, right? So when you get the bank statement from the bank, then only you can understand there is a different transaction posted in the bank statement, like bank charges or interest deducted from by the bank from your account. So once you have that idea and you understood that this is for a reason, and you have to book it in your books also, or create the transactions in your accounts also. So then you can create those transactions in your normal general ledger. You can post such transactions, or during reconciliation process you can automatically create some transactions there itself, the missing transactions in your books compared to the bank statement, like bank charges transactions or deductions like that. So for that you can assign a main account here, the bank charges account. I'll just create one main account as an expense account, bank charges account. I create one expense account. So we have some expenses like 5 lakh 7. I'll create 5 lakh 8. Bank charges. So it's an expense account. Save it. Create one more. 5 lakh 9. Expense. Create it as an expense as well. Save it. I'll create one revenue account. Lakh 5. Interest revenue. Keep it as revenue and save it. Go back. So for interest received, it is a revenue for you, right? So you can give that interest revenue account here. Show all, it is here interest revenue. Interest deducted, you can give that interest expense account. And for bank charges, you can give that bank charges account that you have created here. It's an expense account. So whenever you post any bank transaction, normally what happens is this account, the expense account will get debited and bank account will get credited. Means money is being deducted from your bank, right? So you will credit your bank account here in your books of accounts. So that's what happens. Same for deduction of interest also. Your bank will amount will be decreased and interest expense account will be debited. And then during when you receive revenue, your interest received account will get credited and bank account will get debited. That's all. So there not only in this format, there can be transactions in many other formats in different businesses. So sometimes they can create a person name also here or an institution name. They can normally create different transaction types. It's all depends on their practice. So you have to understand their practice and create accordingly the transaction types. But most commonly, these are the different transaction types that are used in business. Again, for check payments also, you can give this account. Suppose bank charges account I'm giving here. Suppose if bank charged me some expenses for check payments while I was doing check payments and I want to relate that charges to check payments whenever I made a check payment. So I can link that charge account to the check payment so that whenever I was doing reconciliation and understood that that charge is related to check payments, I can apportion it to the check payment as a charge. So we have that option. So I'll show you all these options how we can use in bank reconciliation process. So for now, we just configure this and that would be all. Then if this is clear, we have one more small topic, bank transaction groups. You can group the transaction types that you have created here, bank transaction groups. So you can group your transactions as receipts and payments if you want to, or according to the nature of the transaction, you can keep check. Suppose I'll give you an example, checks. Okay, it can be check payments or check receipts. So you can tag both the transactions here, like check payments one side and check receipts another side. So you can group both of them under checks in the bank transaction group. Or if you don't want it in this way, if you want all the payments in one group, like payments, bank payments. So all the payment related transaction types you can map here. Payment related means withdrawal is a payment or which will deduct the money from your bank. Check payment, you can say electronic payment, UPI payment. So EMI is also a payment. Credit card is also a payment. Post-dated check can be a payment as well as you can also have post-dated check from both the sides, from customers and vendors. You can consider it if you want to. Interest deducted bank charges can also normally comes into payment, or you can create a separate group for it as miscellaneous group. So this will come into payments. You can create one group as receipts like this. Receipts, and you can group all your bank transactions as receipts. So this is also not a big configuration actually. This is helpful in reconciliation only. Whenever you are doing reconciliation, all your lot of payments amount will show in one box actually. How combining all the payment transactions or that you have given here. So it will combine all the balances and show how much amount it is. And receipt transactions, it will combine all the amount and it will show how much amount it is. Receipts means deposits, check receipts, electronic receipts, UPI receipts, and what all we have. That's all right. Nothing else. So I can remove this to 4 receipts. You can also add one more like miscellaneous. Yes, bank transactions. So here in miscellaneous, you can add this one: interest received, interest deducted, and bank charges. You can add. So you can group your bank transaction types in this manner if you want to. Not only in this manner, as I told in the previous example, by check, by electronic, by UPI. In that way also you can group both payment and receipt transaction. You can keep in one group so that whenever you are doing reconciliation, it will show you the net amount of UPI that you have paid and received. The net amount it will show. The same way net amount of checks, net amount of electronic payments it will show. On the other side, if you group it in this way, it will show the total payments and total receipts separately. It can be any type of payment or receipt, it will show separately. So that's how we can group up the transactions, bank transaction groups we can create. Nothing more specific about it, only during the reconciliation process and for some reports it will be helpful. So we have one more small topic, bank reasons. So these are the reason codes. We have discussed this reason codes topic in general ledger module. Again, I told you there will be reason codes in all the modules. Here you can see bank reasons. You can click on bank reasons and again in our setup only it will be there. So there are certain reasons that are created earlier in the general ledger under financial reasons for reflecting here. So error in accounting is for bank. Yeah, check reversal bounce is for bank that you have created and given. You can create one more if you want to. You can also give it as a cancellation reason purpose code here, cancellation reason and purpose code. So that whenever you are canceling a check, so you can use this as a reason. Check reversal as the cancellation. Or if there is an area error reported and if you want to reverse the transaction or cancel it, you can use this cancellation reason. There are certain areas where reason codes can be kept as mandate in cash and bank management module. I'll show you further. So you can use this reason codes for situations. If you want to create one more, you can create, no problem. Okay, so just like I'll create one more 04 deposit slip reversal. 1 second. Customer check bounce, suppose. Give a big name for it. When it claim customer, the check that I have received from customer has bounced, then I will use this as a cancellation reason. So I can use it here. So that's up. So these are the short reason codes I can use in different situations in cash and bank management module. I'll show you further where we use it normally or most commonly. Okay, those are the three topics that we have covered today in cash and bank management module. So bank transaction types and groups, then bank reasons. So tomorrow we'll discuss this one, bank groups and bank accounts and bank account creation. So after that, we'll post some transactions to the bank account that we have created and show you. Later, if time permits, we'll discuss about this check mechanism and all. But that will be mostly in the other class, which is important. Check mechanism, how to create check layouts and use them and all. That would be all for today, guys.